there folks, welcome to the channel. I'm glad you could make it. We got a quick little video for you. A lot of you have been sending me emails and making comments expressing your disappointment as to the results of the cavern experiment. Unfortunately, that small to mid-size unit didn't quite work out, and you've been asking for alternatives. Well, up until now, I haven't really found a good alternative, not one that I can at least stand by. Now, here recently, a company by the name of Pro Smokers contacted me. This is the parent company of PS Seasoning. That's what the P and S stands for. They wanted me to take a look at their brand new line of smokers that are due to release in September. Now, if you've been here for any length of time, you know I love my smoker. And I gotta be honest, I don't see me getting rid of it anytime soon. So I wasn't really interested in their smokers, but I did take a little gander through their catalog. And set to release mid-September, they have some dry agers. Now that piqued my interest. So I started talking to them about their dry agers and their capabilities and limitations and so on and so forth. And these particular dry agers are supposed to dry age beef beautifully, and they're supposed to double as a charcuterie cave. The way this cabinet operates is different than anything I've ever seen. And while they were explaining the finer points of how this works, the only thing that I could think about was there is no way that this is going to be effective. I've got to actually see it to believe it. Well, the folks over at Pro Smokers were kind enough to send me a unit so that I could play with, so that I could test. You guys want to go see it? Let's go take a peek. We just got this in literally a few hours ago. It came expertly packed on a pallet, and there it is. That's the dry aging / dry curing cabinet from Pro Smokers, and let's go ahead and open it up, take a peek inside. I'm loving the inside of this, super easy to clean. That's the first thing that I'm noticing. When we look at what is inside, you've got a couple racks. This goes on the bottom, and these two can go in the middle. So depending on what you're making, you could put your charcuterie or your patina, whatever you want to make, on those racks. You also have a hanging bar with a couple meat hooks, and you can always add a couple extra hooks if you're making some small diameter sausage. You've got the handle that goes on the door, and let's not forget the instruction manual and a set of keys to keep those charcuterie bandits from stealing all your delicious cured meat. At a quick glance, you've got a UV light feature. You've got a temperature control setting that says it's capable of 34 Fahrenheit to 71 Fahrenheit, so it's definitely appropriate for not only dry aging meat, but also dry curing your sausage. We can also adjust the humidity, as it says here, to between 50 and 85%. Very excited about that. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at it completely assembled. We've got the hanging bar here at the top. Now, you can either choose to hang your salami or hang your roasts or whatever. You also have a couple places to lay the items down flat, depending on what you're making. Very adjustable right here, so not a problem. And like I said earlier, the inside of this chamber is very streamlined, so ultra easy to clean. Let's go ahead and pan down. This is the bottom rack. You also have a carbon filter that keeps the air fresh. And when we turn it on, the buttons are super responsive. There's your light, there's your up and down for temperature and humidity. This is your humidity adjustment, just like so. And you can very easily move it up or down. And then your UV light. Now, normally UV isn't super necessary when making charcuterie, but if you activate the UV light, which is kind of like right behind the fan right there, and you leave it on for 24 hours, it'll disinfect your entire chamber. That's what the UV light looks like. I went ahead and removed the two screws and took it out of that top panel. I'm going to go ahead and put it back now. So if you end up growing some really bad mold after you're done, just remove all your meat, activate the UV light, and you disinfect the entire chamber. Now check this out. There is a fan in the very top center part of the roof, and right now, I gotta be honest, I'm getting flashbacks of driving and case hardening, but you know what? Maybe I'm overreacting. We shall see. All right, guys, what do you think? This is a little sneak peek at a product that's going to be released in about 4 weeks. And I gotta admit, it is a compact unit, but the space that's inside is highly usable. You got 3 areas where you can lay charcuterie or lay beef to dry age it. You got 1 hanging bar at the top. You've got a carbon filter. One thing that does concern me is that fan that's placed right in the very center of the unit. You know what I'm talking about if you kept up with the Cavern series. But depending on the fan and depending on this unit, it may not be a problem. Only time will tell. There's no humidification system that's a part of this cabinet. And that's because this cabinet only relies on dehumidification. There's no salt. You don't have to add any water. This system only regulates humidity by dehumidifying the moisture that's being released from the meat that you currently have in there. So you set the control panel to whatever you want. Let's say it's 80%. And as the meat that you have releases moisture and it increases the humidity inside the chamber, the chamber will regulate that humidity by solely dehumidifying it. And as you well know, humidification systems can be slightly problematic. Not only do they take up a whole lot of space, but they are ultra finicky as you try to get them to communicate with the other parts of the system. That's a whole nother story. I am super eager to try this unit out. And I'd love to hear in the comment section below, what should I put in there first? Should I go with something easy, like a small diameter salami, right? 30, 34 millimeter. Should we do patina, which is a salami that has no casing, arguably a little bit more challenging, a little bit more room for failure? Should we just go ahead and dry age some beef and how it does that? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. But for now, thanks a lot for joining me. I can't wait to share with you the next episode to see whether this is a success or failure for charcuterie. I have no doubt that this is going to be a great dry aging cabinet, but can it make good charcuterie? That's the question that I want answered, and I think that's the question that you want answered. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.